Michael was a well-established businessman living in Chicago. At 38 years old, he had built a thriving company from the ground up, and his success was the envy of many. But Michael's ambitions extended beyond Chicago. He dreamed of expanding his business internationally, imagining himself as a global entrepreneur. However, his family, particularly his aging parents, felt it was time for him to settle down and start a family. They constantly reminded him of the importance of balance in life, or respecting their wishes. Michael eventually agreed to meet Emily, a kind-hearted and supportive woman, introduced to him through a family friend. Emily worked as a teacher and had a way of making everyone around her feel valued. They quickly fell in love, and within months they were married. For a time, Michael put his dreams of international expansion on hold to focus on his new life with Emily. But the desire to grow his business never truly left him. One evening, as they sat on their porch enjoying the cool Chicago breeze, Michael decided to share his long-held ambition. "Emily," he began hesitantly, "I've been thinking a lot about expanding my business abroad. I believe this could be my chance to take everything I've worked for to the next level." Emily, who had just discovered she was pregnant but hadn't yet shared the news, looked at her husband with understanding. "If this is what you truly want, Michael, you should follow your dreams," she said, though her heart felt heavy. She admired his determination and didn't want to stand in the way of his aspirations. With his family's blessing, Michael left for Europe to pursue his dreams. His hard work and determination paid off. Over the next 17 years, he built a thriving international business empire and accumulated great wealth. He sent money and letters home regularly, but never made time to return. The years slipped by, and while his family's love for him remained, the distance between them grew. Finally, at the age of 55, Michael felt he had achieved everything he wanted. The longing to reconnect with his family tugged at his heart, and he decided it was time to return to Chicago. He booked passage on a ship and began the long journey home, eager to reunite with Emily and meet the child he had only known through letters and photographs. During the voyage, Michael befriended a fellow passenger named Arthur, a thoughtful and wise man in his 60s. Arthur carried an air of melancholy, which piqued Michael's curiosity. One evening, as they stood on the deck watching the sunset, Michael asked, "Arthur, why do you look so sad?" Arthur sighed. "I travel the world sharing wisdom, but most people don't value it until it's too late," he replied. Intrigued, Michael said, "I've made my fortune in business. Why not gain some wisdom as well? Share one piece of advice with me, and I'll pay you 500. Arthur's eyes lit up, and he said, "Before you act on anything, take 2 minutes to think." Michael handed over the money and chuckled, thinking the advice was simple, but perhaps useful. He tucked it away in his mind, unsure if he'd ever need it. After weeks at sea, Michael finally arrived home. It was late at night, and he decided to surprise Emily. Quietly entering the house, he made his way to the bedroom. As he pushed open the door, he froze. There, on the bed, Emily was asleep, and beside her lay a young boy. Fury boiled within him. "I've worked tirelessly for years to provide for my family, and this is how she repays me?" Overcome with rage, Michael grabbed a decorative sword hanging on the wall, ready to strike in his anger. But just as he raised the sword, Arthur's words echoed in his mind. "Before you act on anything, take 2 minutes to think." Michael paused, breathing heavily. As he lowered the sword, it accidentally struck a nearby metal vase, creating a loud clanging sound. Emily woke up startled. When she saw Michael standing there, tears filled her eyes. "Michael, you're finally home," she exclaimed, her voice trembling with joy. Michael, still shaken, pointed to the boy and demanded, "Who is this?" Emily looked confused. "Michael, this is your child. Come here, sweetheart. Your father is home after so many years." The child got up, walked to Michael, and knelt to touch his feet in respect. As the child bent forward, her hat fell off. revealing long golden hair. Michael's anger melted into shock and then regret. "This isn't a boy," Emily said, smiling. "This is your daughter, Lily. I raised her like a son because I wanted her to grow up strong and independent in your absence. She's our child, Michael." Overcome with emotion, Michael dropped the sword and fell to his knees, pulling Emily and Lily into a tight embrace. "I almost made the worst mistake of my life," he whispered. "Arthur's wisdom saved me." From that day forward, Michael vowed never to let his anger cloud his judgment again. He dedicated himself to rebuilding the bonds with his family, making up for the years he had lost. Lily grew up to be a confident and accomplished young woman, inspired by her father's redemption and her mother's unwavering strength. Lessons for today's society. This story teaches us the importance of pausing to think before reacting. In moments of anger or haste, we risk making decisions that can have irreversible consequences. Taking a moment to reflect allows us to respond with clarity and wisdom, preventing potential disasters. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to let emotions drive our actions. However, cultivating patience and mindfulness can lead to better outcomes in both personal and professional life. Michael's story is a powerful reminder that wisdom, no matter how simple it may seem, can save us from making life-altering mistakes. If you've ever experienced similar stories in your life, don't hesitate to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. We would love to hear your story.